Hey everybody, it's good to hang out with you. Sorry for the delay in getting started here. Jeremy and I have been hanging out trying to get this ready for you, and this is what we got. So poor audio, but it's okay. At least this microphone's not even working, but we'll get it fixed another time. I'm going to talk with you guys today about more important things about updates on YouTube. I'm trying to live stream with you guys every Monday around 1 p.m. Eastern Time. It's currently an hour and a half past that. Jeremy and I have been sitting here trying to figure this out. We're going to just roll with what we got, and if you can't hear anything, okay, some people say it's fine. It's not that bad. Yeah, I know. It's not this microphone. I still have it here though, because this is what Jeremy's listening to me through. So he gets the good audio. You guys get the poor audio. It is what it is. So we'll get this working for next week. But yeah, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm going to try to live stream with you guys every week just to talk about all the news and the updates happening in the online video world here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Amazon, what else? Twitch. I don't know. There's just a lot of happening all the time. And so we're going to talk about some of the big things here, such as what YouTube's doing to change how you guys link externally to sources off of YouTube. We're going to also talk about some of like they're adding GIF thumbnails kind of on desktop. We'll talk about that and the difference we think that might be making on your channels and what YouTube looks for and things like that for that type of thing. And then also I want to talk with you guys about a new 6-second ad feature that YouTube's is adding. They're going to be rolling back some of the long form ads that you're used to, and instead just using some short 6-second ad spots. And so that's what we're going to talk about here coming up today. And but first of all, before we jump into all that, Jeremy, hello. Who are you?
Hey,
Why don't you introduce yourself?
hey, I'm Jeremy Vest. I'm the founder of vidpow.com. We have 1 billion views for brands on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram video. We do the strategy for a lot of the big companies out in the United States.
Yeah. So, yeah, he does a lot of stuff working with brands on YouTube, and I've known Jeremy for a long time, so I respect his opinion and things here on YouTube. So we're gonna dig into some of these things together. First thing we're gonna do here is look at this article right here. If I can get my computer to work. YouTube cracking down on external links. So there's a lot of bad rap about this earlier because people were like, they're not letting me link to my Patreon page and they're not letting me link to websites and stuff. And it kind of seemed like Facebook or YouTube was against Patreon for a while, and that was kind of fun, but it really has nothing to do with Patreon. Jeremy, what's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of people, you have to have 10,000 views before you can actually start getting access to your links now. So that was one kind of misconception. What was some others, Tim? What was another thing people were thinking that they automatically were getting blocked from Patreon, for example?
Well, just anything. They were like, why can't I link to any of my external links? And YouTube, the change they made is that now you need to be a part of the partner program. And people are like, what? Like, why? I don't want to monetize my videos. Why do I need to be a part of the partner program? And there's a couple of things going on. This is what I'm see kind of going on behind the scenes is that there's update to the partner program with it being a like you need 10,000 views now before you can get in, and the reason for that is people coming on, creating accounts, and adding content that's not like advertiser friendly and just kind of like spam content. They were like monetizing this from the very beginning, and advertisers like we don't want to be against spam like content. But the thing those spammers do also is they link off-site and they just get people off-site. So now they're like, okay, you can still link off-site, but you need to be part of the partner program, which means you need to have at least 10,000 views and then apply, have your content reviewed, and then introduce. And then at that point, then we'll be like, okay, you look like a channel, be safe to let you just, like you're not being spammy and breaking our terms of service. And so it's nothing against any external sites. In fact, here are some of the external sites. Like, it's not just Patreon, but you can see here. Here's a list of all the different websites you can link to if you are a YouTube partner. All those sites. Look at all those. There's tons of them. And here's like crowdfunding sites. There's just tons of different sites you can link to if YouTube deems you to not be like spammy. So, are there any drawbacks to this that you can think of other than what it means for us as creators, Jamie?
Honestly, I think that it just makes sense. I mean, if you have less than 10,000 views and you're trying to make money off of YouTube, you're not going to be, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it really helps delete a lot of the spam channels out there. And if you don't have 10,000 views, you're probably not in a position to make money. Also, don't forget, with view duration and watch session time and all that stuff being very important, you should only send people off of YouTube when when you really think you have the ability to sell something. So I think that for most people, for one, they're not sending many people off of YouTube, and two, they're probably doing it a lot at the wrong times anyway. So I don't think this is going to affect many people's paychecks, in my opinion.
Well, yeah. Why is it bad to send people off of YouTube? A lot of people don't realize like their whole goal on YouTube is to get people onto their email list or onto their website or whatever. What's the concern there?
Well, really, it's just about session duration and watch time. So the more watch time you have, the more YouTube's going to send more people to your channel, and the more, sessions that you stop from your channel. What that means is people are watching, and then all of a sudden you're sending them to another site, and it's called a session stop. So what
Right.
happens is YouTube's like, oh, this is where people go to leave YouTube. We're not going to send that many people there anymore.
Yeah.
And that can be a signal for your overall channel for YouTube to not send as many people to you.
Yeah. So it's like YouTube's goal is to keep people on YouTube as long as possible, right? So
Yep.
if you are ending the viewing session, that means those people aren't as likely to stay on YouTube, to watch more content, to engage with more videos, to subscribe to additional channels. At the end of the day, like they're not going to be seeing more ads, right? And so YouTube wants to highlight content is keeping them watching more longer, and so especially if you are just littering your description text, guys, with like links to Amazon and links to your website and social media, like it's good to have some links there, especially to like your social media presence, other places. But to just litter that with just tons of links, like we are seeing YouTube's cracking down on that overall, but especially like these people who are just signing up, creating accounts without any sort of like providing value and just breaking terms of service and things. That's just a thing. So now, one thing to be clear is a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to monetize my videos. I don't want to be a part of the partner program, but I still want to be able to link externally. And for YouTube's response to that is just you can still join the partner program, but you don't have to actually enable monetization on your videos. Now, it is a little annoying because you have to do that like on an individual per video basis. You got to unmonetize each of them. But in your upload defaults, you can still uncheck that box so that any new video that you upload to your channel just by default is not monetized. So that's probably how I would just go about doing it. So cool. Let's look at something else here that's kind of cool what YouTube's working on. So these video thumbnails, and there's a link to this, all this stuff in the description of this video. You guys can check it out. But video previews. So let me show you what it looks like over here first. So this is only on desktop. If you hover your mouse over, see how you get like a little animated intro there? It's only 3 seconds. It's not that long. This guy is using like a still, it happened to hit on a still frame, so it doesn't look that much different. But here it is. YouTube just kind of picking a different 3 second version of the video and just turning it into like a motion thing, so you can kind of get a preview of what's actually in the content video of the video itself, and not before you actually click play on it. So you can see some of these are better than others. Like I thought like this one or this one's got one kind of makes sense. It's a nice good transition here. That one's not as good, I don't think, on YouTube's pick. This one I think works pretty well. I get a different perspective of the video. So there's a few things that go into this eligibility. It's only on desktop and it only happens on the home page, search results, watch page, subscription page, and trending tab on desktop. And it doesn't work on mobile devices, and they'll only work on videos that are longer than 30 seconds. And there's nothing you need to do to turn this on. It's just kind of automatically there. And this is the part I was trying to figure out is is there something I can do to influence what 3 seconds are showing up? And basically it's no. Like their system automatically selects a clip in the first half of the video to show. Now, knowing YouTube and how smart they're getting with their automatic thumbnail selections for you, like I have a few times like uploaded a video and then be like, shoot, they picked a better still frame than I did for the thumbnail. I'll like go back and remake a better thumbnail for it. But Jeremy, with the channels have you worked with and things, have you noticed any impact that this has had on anything or anything creators should consider with this?
I think, we're thumbnail nerds, right? We've been actually preaching. If you think about YouTube, just think common sense, no matter what you do, right? So for example, one thing Tim and I have been teaching for years is we suggest you actually use a thumbnail that is part of the video. I always say a dog can't be a cat. So if you are using thumbnails right now that don't really reflect what the video is about or is not a still frame from the video, this is going to be a very odd experience. You see this crazy thumbnail and then the 3-second preview is completely different. So if you're using best case scenarios and you're using a still from the image to make your thumbnail, this will be a great experience and will probably enhance, if you have something cool happening in the first 3 seconds, probably enhance the ability for people to see your videos. But for me, it's just a matter of you should always use the still from your videos in your thumbnails, and this is a good example of why.
Yeah, I agree. Cool. Thank you for the super chat, the crazy Scotchwell. I forget how you say that. I don't know how to say it, but thank you. I really appreciate it. Okay, then let's look at this other story here with the advertising thing. Now, I've heard this has been coming, and I guess is rolling out now. YouTube, we've already known that YouTube's going to be shutting down the non-skippable 30-second pre-roll ads, just too high of abandonment, and it wasn't really serving viewers nor creators as well, I think, as anyone wanted. And so now they're creating a campaign to promote their 6-second ad spots to underserved demographics. And so this whole article goes into that. But basically, these are only 6 seconds long, and they go at the beginning of your video. And from what I understand, Jeremy, these are not skippable. Do you know?
That's correct. Yeah. That's correct.
Now, it makes me think a lot of, I don't know if any of you guys remember, what was it? The people that are getting all YouTube creators to sign up to, it wasn't Anchor. What was it? You know what I'm talking
Vine?
about?
Or I'm not sure.
No. It was like a really big deal like 2 years ago. They signed on all these YouTube creators, and their only ad format inside the platform was like 5-second non-skippable ads at the beginning. Vessel, that's what it was. Vessel.
Vessel, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so now YouTube's like, I'm assuming they've done a ton of research around this to come to 6 seconds. And Jeremy, you've done tons with ads, like millions and millions of dollars worth of ad campaigns for clients. What's your reaction to kind of seeing the new direction YouTube's going with this?
Well, I think from a branding perspective, a 6-second ad is great. I think that from a conversion perspective, a 6-second ad is not great, right? Because you have to convert. And I think it's going to be really, really good for a really small amount of brands. So, like Nike and Pepsi and Coke and people that can afford branding, not conversion, I think they will move a lot of ad units, and I think it's going to be a really good thing. We're all conditioned to click at 5.001 seconds after the skip button comes up now anyways, right? So I don't think any of us from consumers are actually going to experience any more anxiety from seeing a 6-second ad. If anything, not seeing the skip button may actually be a better experience because we know we don't have to do anything to move on to the next piece of content. But from people that are making phenomenal videos. I mean, the 5-second skip pre-roll ads aren't going anywhere. That is the bread and butter of how YouTube does advertising right now. But it is going to be very interesting to see where they go from here.
Yeah.
I think the longer versions of non-skippable ads were just always a bad idea. They never performed very well.
Yeah, I used to disable those non-skippable ads on all my content, just not because like I would make less money by doing so. In fact, I took a financial hit turning those off, but I just felt like it served. I don't like them. I felt like
Right.
it served viewers better to have only the true view skippable ads on there. And I felt like, I'm more interested in giving my viewers a better experience than I am in those ads. I think YouTube's kind of doing the same thing. In fact, now if you enable the non-skippable ads, they even pop up a warning saying this could lead to further audience abandonment of your videos and things like that. So the 6-second non-skippable ad, I think, is going to be good. I think it's basically like watching a Vine
Yeah.
right before your content. And the stuff, if you read from what I've been reading, this all the research so far has indicated that it's still serves brands well. Like it still gives them a good brand lift. Things as far as being highly actionable, that might be something else to consider, more maybe more true view. But if you want unskippable, force them to watch the whole thing. Like that 6 seconds, I guess, is going to be good. You just can't skip it. Although, what's the difference? Like that extra second, like non-skippable 6 seconds versus a skippable 5?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just, they're understanding science and how people consume
Yeah,
advertising the best.
yeah. Cool. Let's do a little bit of Q&A with you guys here regarding some of these things. Life Masters, Tim, regarding the external links, is it only for end cards and, whoops, where'd it go? Skippable end cards, or is it for video description links? You can still use external links in your video description without being a part of the partner program. This is for the interactive elements of a video, which would be the interactive cards that pop out. And so what I did here on this one, actually, I put a link to my Patreon here to prove to you guys, like, there's an interactive card on this live stream to show you that you can still link off-site. You just need to be part of the partner program. So it's still there, and you can find that there. Thank you, RV Freedom. Really appreciate that, man. $2. Awesome. And so, yeah, so you can still do that. And then end screen. It does apply to end screen elements, too, from what you saw, right, Jeremy? Like, you can't
Yeah, it does.
use that either.
Same thing.
Yep. Cool. Let's see here. Don't mind 30 seconds non-skippable, but 2 to 3 minutes no skip. Yeah, that's no bueno. That's something that
That's a very patient viewer you have there.
Oh no, that would not be something I would. I would not sit through it. I have YouTube Red because I hate all the ads. If you watch as much YouTube as I do, YouTube Red is absolutely totally worth it. Even I didn't think I'd use the music that comes along with it that much, but I actually do. Like, I don't have Spotify now. I just have Google Music. So, let's see here. What other questions do you have here? Good news. If you don't have 10,000 views, you don't have to worry about the ads.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. And you're not really people are gonna get upset about that, like, because they're like, oh, 10,000 views, I'm not making any money. Jeremy, how much money are people missing out on for that 10,000 views?
Like 0.02 cents or less.
Yeah, like nothing.
It's not going to happen. You know what I'm most excited about with the new direction of ads is they created this new thing called Director Mix. And essentially what they're allowing big brands to do is create like 10 or 15 or 20,000 versions of the same ad. What this is going to do is it's going to allow advertisers to be better targeted. So if you're a mom and you have 4 kids, you're probably not caring about the NASCAR race going on this weekend. And right now, honestly, I think the YouTube advertising in general is like the 1960s television ads that did not serve the right people in general. It's going to be very exciting when you start getting ads relevant to you. And I think the Director Mix is a good starting point to get there.
Yeah. Cool. Space City Soaps, it's 3 consecutive seconds, not 1 second from the beginning, 1 second from the middle, 1 second from the end. So that's what it is. So some of these I think we need to take care of it. Cool guys. I actually have a few other links for you here that we're not going to go over here together. There's someone that works at Google at YouTube wrote a book about how YouTube is changing and what that looks like going forward in the future. There's an update to the creator program from Nintendo, which I think most people will hate. It's actually the reason I did not buy the Nintendo Switch because I wanted one and I wanted to play Mario Kart, but given their policy about YouTube, I decided not even to buy the gaming console. And then Twitch TV has an update for their chat and their streaming. So all those other stories I'm going to be making available for you guys who are patrons. Now, those of you guys who are supporting this content, making it possible for people like me and Jeremy to hang out with you guys here in the first place and to do the time to do the research and put all this together for you. So you patrons, those of you guys over at patreon.com/video creators, really appreciate all you, and I'll be sharing those links with you guys later today. And the rest of you guys, really thank you so much for hanging out here. I need to get a better chat system here. I think maybe next week I'm not going to put the chat live, like my view of the chat. I'm going to figure out a better system here. But that's what we do. Hopefully we'll get better audio for you guys next time too. So it's not as like fangled together. Is that a word? Together as it is right now. So... but thank you guys for supporting this and being part of it. Hopefully I will see you guys again next week at 1 p.m. Eastern time for another live stream. And if you're not already a patron, we'd love to have you join our community over there. We got private hangouts with me, video hangouts. We've got monthly guest expert trainings. We have a private forum. It's kind of like my community of people I get to like really invest into and dive into, and it's been awesome. So we'd love to have you guys join that community over there and become a part of all the training that happens there that's not here on YouTube, and as well as supports streams like this. So thank you guys, and we will catch you guys again next week for another stream, just updating you guys about everything that's happening and changing in the online video space, especially here on YouTube. So we'll see you guys then. Bye.